So please join me on the chorus. If I grow what I sow and I reap what I grow, then carefully I'll choose my seeds. If I grow what I sow and I reap what I grow, then abundantly I'll harvest what I seek. Try it again. If I grow what I sow and I reap what I grow, then carefully I'll choose my seed. If I grow what I sow and I reap what I grow, then abundantly I'll harvest what I seek. If you want love, sow love. If you want joy, joy, sow joy. If you want kindness, sow kindness until your cup overflows. If I grow what I sow and I reap what I grow, then carefully I'll choose my seeds. If I grow what I sow and I reap what I grow, then abundantly I'll harvest what I seek. If you want grace, grace, sow grace. If you want hope, hope, sow hope. If you want peace on earth, sow peace on earth until your cup overflows. If we grow what we sow and I reap what I grow, then carefully I'll choose my seeds. If I grow what I sow and I reap what I grow, then abundantly I'll harvest what I seek. Then abundantly I'll harvest what I seek. Changing my glasses so I can see you. I'm bringing greetings from Jasmine, Alfredo, and Oscar. They were too tired to come this morning. And I said, if I flop, I'm going to blame it on you. And you know what Jasmine said? Nothing. Nothing. They just left me there. So for those of you that don't know what I'm talking about, those are 3 of my puppets that often come to help out with my services, but they didn't want to today. So in the woods next to my apartment in Bellevue, I picked up a 10-foot long stick that I found. And then I apologized to the pine tree before I whacked it over and over. Sorry. I was trying to work out this black cloud that was within me and hovering over me, and this anxiety and this depression and this sadness that just overwhelmed me. I was going on my 4th year of this. I'm gay, is what my ex-husband told me. Well, my husband at the time, he told me after 14 years of marriage. He came out of the closet, and he said, you know, I'm ready and willing to move out of the house. And I said, you're not moving out. You're gay. Why would you move out of the house? I mean, you didn't do anything wrong, you know? And I think there was a sense of relief, but we decided, hey, let's, figure out what we're going to do. So for the next 2 months, I did a lot of reading. There's a few books out there on what happens between a gay and straight partnership and when they split up. And it's not good. It's just really hard on the straight partner for some reason. And I'm like, no, I'm going to conquer this, right? And then we both were in counseling and together and apart and trying to figure out what we wanted to do. And we decided after 2 months to go ahead and get divorced. Now, for me, this was horrid because, I'm glad I chose to do that because I wanted him to be able to be his full self and everything. But for me, he was my best friend. We were really excellent parents. We had an 11-year-old son. And he was a great lover too. People go, I'm like, no, he was this man was fantastic, right? And he was a good cook, Yeah, he would he would do the Cuisinart and I would mow the lawn. So you knew there was something going on, but no, we didn't. But it was actually so difficult. I was losing my best friend. So not just you, the loss whenever comes with divorce, anyone who's been divorced or just even great loss, there's just something so horrific about that because you're just getting a big part of you ripped out. And um, I just went into this funk. And so for 3 years, and I moved to Salt Lake City, I was trying to keep my job. I was having health issues. I was sitting outside Wasatch Presbyterian Church in my car, looking at my hands that couldn't open all the way or close all the way. And I'd been recently diagnosed with systemic lupus. So I had that coming on, which, what did that mean? It was if you don't know what that is, it's an autoimmune disease that attacks your connective tissues. So it could be joints, sometimes it's tendons that will swell. It could, break your skin out. It often connected to depression and anxiety, which I had been struggling with for some years and was on meds for and trying to work all that whole stuff out. So it was nice to and I'm sitting there and I'm like, oh, there's this big looming church and here I am out here and has God abandoned me? I mean, there's this whole thing that's coming with the faith. So I went in to see my pastor and I was sitting with her and I'd been reading these books on how we have an impact on where we go. I mean, we are part of our journey. It's not like, we're isolated. It's like I've done things, I've made decisions. And so I'm in there talking to him I'm like, what have I done to, help create this? And she's like, no, stop right there. You've been handed a bad hand of cards. And I just grabbed onto that. Now, whether I believe that or not, I don't know, because I do think that there's, it's more complicated than just that. The part I grabbed onto is that I needed to stop blaming myself. That I did have things handed to me that I didn't go out and search out and find and say, hey, can you do this to me? It's like I had things happening to me. And I don't believe, this is my theological background. I do have a master's degree in theology from a very conservative Fuller seminary. So I'm coming from that tradition, and yet I have very progressive beliefs, okay? So just coming from that, I've worked through a lot of stuff. But I don't believe God walks around going, oh, I just really think you need this lesson, so I'm going to dump this on you. You know what? You're getting a little high for yourself. I'm going to dump this on you and have this. I don't believe that God goes around picking and choosing what lessons we need to learn. I think life happens, and in that, we have choices on whether we want to learn from it, grow from it, or how we're going to do those kinds of things. So I have a different perspective. And so coming from the Presbyterian, which is, oh yeah, everything's ordained. It's going to happen, right? It's foretold. No, I didn't buy into that. Sorry, Presbyterians, you can take that and keep that, right? So I don't buy into that. Even though, and so neither did this Presbyterian minister that I was with, so she's fantastic. And I got onto that because I thought I have to stop blaming for myself for this. Right. And so for the lupus and then this divorce that's coming, I'm losing my best friend and I'm losing my faith. I mean, all this is wrapped up and together. So from there, jump 3 years later, I have moved to Seattle and I'm living in Bellevue with my son. And here it is 3 years and I'm out here whacking this stick against the tree, just still trying to get this negative, dark stuff to go away. Right. I said, and earlier I'd actually been curled up on the lawn outside my apartment. I thought I probably should move because if somebody walks by, there's a lady curled up on the lawn crying. I better move, right? And I think my son at that time was like with his dad or something. So, then I went out in the woods and beat trees up for a little bit, came back. And it was just really a dark time. And then another time I remember I'm in the car. My son was a sophomore in high school and he's driving. And we get to a stop sign and I have so much darkness and stuff around me. I just jump out of the car and I run backwards down the street. Yeah, okay, here's a lady. Ah! Right, and my son's in the car. I mean, he's kind of used to this by now, unfortunately. It's like, okay, I'll just sit here. Hopefully she comes back, right? And I did. I came back, then I jump in and then I'm like, I'm so sorry. I just had to get away from whatever it is. It's like if I run, maybe I leave it behind, and fortunately when you run, you get the endorphins going and it does make you feel a little better, But I mean, there was such darkness. And then At that point, I'd lost my apartment because I'd run out of money. And I also had cancer, that I got cancer, skin cancer, that I had to have surgery, stuff like that. So between that and the lupus and who cares, whatever, right? Then I ran out of money, so we had to leave our apartment. So we went and crashed at a friend's house in Woodinville. And fortunately, this was like a childhood friend from high school that we could crash. I mean, I was so fortunate. Yay, the two of us could crash there, right? But came the next fall, I still had a job and nothing. I thought, my son is like top of his class as a sophomore in Bellevue, and his dad just moved to a great place in California. I'm like, hey, he went to go live with his dad for his junior and senior year and ended up in an IB program, top of his class, went to Stanford, went to Columbia University. I mean, he got to go do his path, right? But I had to give up. I had to give it up. I had to give him up. And oh my gosh, at that point, do you think you're going this low? And I am fighting suicidal thoughts this whole time, but I'm constantly like, no, I'm going to make this because I'm not going to do that to my son ever, 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 ever. But when all of a sudden he's gone, I got what my cousin knew was up. And so she helped me check into a hospital for 3 days to kind of deal with that part of it. And I'll tell you what, that was the sobering part, because they throw you in your hospital, you're locked up. And I am an outdoor person. So you think this cloud of emotion, now I'm stuck in this facility with some people that are all dealing with stuff. They're wonderful people, but I'm like, this is not how I want to hang out. And now I'm in here for 3 days. I'm like, okay, no, I am going to get my act together. I don't know what I have to do. Show me whatever videos you want me to see. I will do every single program in here you need. And then I said, okay, and they let me out, I think, a day early because I promised to go to this outpatient program. And that outpatient program was fantastic because it helped me identify some things I didn't understand about boundaries that I had not created for myself or whatever, and stuff from my child and stuff and blah, blah, all that stuff, but it was great. Plus, when I was in there, all of a sudden I was finding myself, helping the other people that were in there. I'm like, that's the me. That's the one that, it's coming out. So I was getting a chance to do those things that I absolutely love, but I could also nurture myself. And I got some really good eye-opener things that helped me really step forward. So I have overcome all that stuff. When the IRS writes me, I don't immediately go into fetal position anymore. No, it doesn't happen. I'm like, you can write me because I'm still here, So, but you know what? None of that is who I am. What happens to me is not who I am. What happens to you is not who you are. Whatever's been thrown at you, whatever circumstances you find yourself in, that is not who you are. And if you've made the bad decisions or you've gone down the wrong road, that is not who you are. That is stuff you can throw to the side and let go. That is things that we face. Those are bumps in the road. Sometimes it's a big freaking wall we got to climb over without a ladder. But those are not the things that make you who you are. So I go back and I think about, when I was growing up, I start to think of all the good things. I'm thinking, I was such a good athlete. I went out for girls softball. So there's 4 kids in my family and we're all pretty athletic, but me and my sister, we are probably more athletic than my brothers. I'm sorry if you're listening, it's just the way it is. You're a better musician, but I'm a better athlete. And so my sister and we did a lot of sports. And I was this, 6th grader going out for girls softball, right? And my dad was a softball player, not a baseball player, a softball player. So he did a lot of playing with us. And so I get out there and they're going to throw these little fly balls where you have to catch 3 fly balls or you get 3. So they throw a fly ball up there and I run over there and I'm running like this. Catch, I'm in 6th grade or 5th grade or whatever it was, And they're like, I'm not doing this. No, I'm like running perfectly and I get under and I catch it, right? So they're like, let's throw it higher. So the guy throws it way up in there and I do the same thing. Catch. Oh my gosh. So then he throws it really, really high and I catch it the same way. 3 in a row. You think I made a team that year? Oh, I made a team. But that was like in 6th grade. All these sports, I ended up playing volleyball and softball in high school. I went on and played volleyball in college at Long Beach State, which is NCAA Division I. If you know what that is, that's the highest. And you're in Southern California, so I'm playing USC, UCLA. I'm playing at the highest level of volleyball. I'm like, I am a good athlete, and I had so much fun doing it. Why I didn't go further is because I had this faith that kept me from playing volleyball on Sundays. I'd go to church instead. So I was limited on what I could be part of. But my faith was so important to me, so I thought I got the best of both worlds. And at some point there, I started realizing I love music. Now, my brother, like I said, he's an A musician. And if you're in it, I know that because I'm an A athlete. So when I'm around B athletes, they think they're really good. I'm like, yeah, you're good, but you're really not an A athlete. Okay, I'm being a little swanky. But then I go to the music and I go, no, he's an A musician. I am a C musician that worked really hard to be a B musician. I can try as hard as I want. I might be a B sort of plus, but that's as high as I'm ever going to get as a musician, no matter how I try. My brother, he's high school. He's like sitting down in his car playing at some piano thing from Tchaikovsky. We'll just say Bach. That's easier to say. He's playing it on it, and he's just doing it on the top of it, and he's right with the stuff. Like, how do you do that? You're a senior in high school and you're doing that? What the heck, So, but people think I do a pretty good job. So in like summer camps, I started writing songs and singing songs. And so I got this, music thing, and I found out I was pretty smart. And I got like a 3.8 in high school, but I didn't know that was good because my brother got a 4.0 and was a valedictorian. I thought, oh yeah, I just didn't make it. I look back down, I'm like, well, I had 3.83 or something like that. I got a couple B's because I hated science, but I got A's in all the classes. I loved math. I think I got a B in math. 1 B, or I don't know, it wasn't much, And so I'm like, I'm smart. And so when I'm at the summer camp, we did that parable about the parable of the talents, and you have a talent or 2 talents. And they're like, you're like a 5-talent person. And I'm like, yeah, thanks, I'm a 5. I have a lot of talent. I am really good. But you know what? That's not who I am. That is not who I am. I was fortunate to have some of those abilities. Those are things that I shared. Those are things I got to enjoy. Those are things that I maybe got to help makes part of my world better, giving gifts to somebody else. But that is not who I am. I am a gem. You are a gem. You are a gem. You are a gem. Each of us is a gem. I see you back there. You can't get out of this. You cannot get out of this. You two back there. No, each of us is a gem. And I loved all the passages that you picked that talked about, how just we are inherently wonderful. But I want it to sink in. Breathe it in. I'm a gem. I'm a gem. You are perfect. You are good. You are lovable. You are loved. You are important. You are valuable. You are irreplaceable. Breathe that in. We are connected to God. We are connected to each other. We are wonderful. Now, if I'm standing on that foundation, I get to choose who I want to be, what I want to develop, how I want to share myself, how I want to tackle the problems that come my way. But I'm doing it out of the knowledge that I am a gem, I am a wonder, and I get to make my choices. I can bumble, I'm still a gem. I can be elegant, I'm still a gem, but I'm not a better gem than anybody else. And that's a part sometimes when we start to go like, well, you're a good gem, but I'm a little better gem, bigger than you are. But that person over there, they're way down here. They're a little teeny tiny gem. No, we don't get to do that. We are all, you can be whatever size you want. I'm just saying, but there's none that are any more valuable than the others, right? If you want to be a teeny tiny, beautiful little diamond, or a big, huge sapphire, You can be whatever you want to be, but they're all valuable. You are not more valuable than somebody else. So the arrogance has to go, right? But you're not less valuable. So we don't have to hide under that rock. Shine. Be who you want to be. And that's where we stop comparing ourselves. Yeah, well, this person does this better. They're a better crafter than I am. I don't care. It doesn't make them more valuable. This person's a better cook. I don't care. It doesn't make them more valuable. I suck at puzzles. That doesn't make me less valuable. Right? I'm just not going to do puzzles. I'm going to spend my time digging holes in the garden and planting new plants in there. Breathe that in. I am a gem. I am a wonder. You could get up every morning and remind yourself that. And we'll be better for it, because I think we often forget it. I'm going to do a song and then we're going to move into meditation. This is called Call It Good. I didn't think my vows would be for nothing, but after 15 years, that's how it felt. He packed his bags, hit the road, and he left me standing in a house too big, in shoes that didn't fit, and with the heart overwhelmed. A tragic story, like Shakespeare might cast, but it doesn't say who I am or what I'm worth. I'm not my past. I shrugged off the jury and forgive myself, 'cause I know I did the best I could. I put that blame back on the shelf and called it good. There are those who spend a lifetime remembering everything that ever went wrong. When I was 5, and then again at 12 and 17, I was ignored, but who's keeping score? And so the song goes on and on, a tragic story, like Shakespeare might cast, but it doesn't say who you are or what you're worth. You're not your past. Shrug off your jury and forgive yourself. No, you did the best you could and put the blame back on the shelf and call it good. 'Cause like a river, we can move ahead if we jump from our shipwrecks. Broken bones and battered hearts never have to dictate what comes next. A tragic story, like Shakespeare might cast. It doesn't say who you are or what you're worth. You're not your past. Shrug off the jury and forgive yourself. No, know you did the best you could and put that blame back on the shelf and call yourself good. 'Cause you are good. You are good. Go ahead and just find yourself, just get comfortable and relaxed, the position you like to be in to relax. And focus in on your, you can lay down at home, but let's not be laying down here. I heard the little giggles. I know right what people are thinking. Yeah, well, there's enough room, a couple rows you can lay down. Just turn to your breathing and breathe in and breathe out. Just focus on your breath. That breath is your life. It represents life. Filling up the gem, breathing, letting go what we need to let go of. Breathe in and breathe out. Ask yourself, who am I? Who am I? I am a child of God. Breathe that in. I am a loving wonder. Breathe that in. I am a gracious goddess, God, or my, what do you call it? Divinity. Breathe that in. I am a gem. Stand in your power or sit in your power. Just sit up a little straighter, hold your head up a little higher, and breathe that power that you have, the empowerment that you have in. Breathe it in and just feel it filling you. Release negativity, release the downward spirals, release our negative thoughts. I am a gem. I am filled with power. I'm filled with love. I'm filled with light. And breathe that in and let it just fill you. So faithful, so constant, so loving and so true, so powerful in all you do. You feel me, you see me, you know my every move, your love for me to sing to you. I know that you are for me, I know that you are for me, I know that you will never forsake me in my weakness, and I know that you have come now, even if to ride upon our hearts, to remind us of who we are. So patient, so gracious, so merciful and true, so wonderful in all you do. You feel me, You see me, you know my every move. You love for me to sing to you. I know that you are for me. I know that you are for me. I know that you will never forsake me in my weakness. And I know that you have come now, even if to ride upon our hearts, to remind us of who we are. And so it is, amen.